I've made 75 YouTube videos. Now, I've made videos that flopped really hard. I've made videos that got tens of thousands of views. I've also made shorts. I've made long form videos. I've had videos that were professionally edited versus videos that I edited myself in just 1 hour. And so in today's video, I want to share 22 brutally honest lessons that I've learned that I wish someone had told me earlier. So if you're struggling to grow your channel, you're feeling stuck, you're feeling overwhelmed, then these lessons will hopefully help you to grow faster and to be inspired to keep going. Lesson number 1 is editing isn't nearly as important as you think. So I used to think that editing was the secret sauce to YouTube success. And so what I did is I started to pay an editor to edit my videos for me. And those videos got a couple of thousand views. But then I also had videos that got tens of thousands of views, and I edited these videos myself. They were quick, they were basic, but they still outperformed the professionally edited videos. And so the truth of the matter is that basic editing works this year and beyond. And that's because people are nowadays looking for more value rather than fancy cinematic editing. And so essentially you can post bad videos just as long as they are valuable. The second lesson that I learned is you need to be in it for the long haul. Many YouTube creators quit within the first year of growing their channels. And to be honest with you, I completely understand why. Because it takes a lot of blood, sweat, and tears to grow your channel. And so when you aren't getting the views and the return for all of your hard work, then it can be super demotivating. But you need to understand that YouTube is a long game. So when you look at my YouTube channel, you'll see that the first video that actually took off for me was, I believe it was my 19th video. So that essentially means that 18 videos before the 19th video literally almost flopped, right? So I didn't get a lot of views from those videos, but I kept going. For other creators, it may only be their 50th or their 200th video that actually takes off. And so you need to be willing to keep going even when you aren't getting the results that you hope for. The third lesson that I learned is that growth only happens when you understand YouTube's algorithm. So YouTube growth isn't about luck. It's about strategy. And so what I started to do with my YouTube channel is I started to study what was already working in my niche. I started to look at the topics that were doing well. I started to look at the thumbnails and titles that were outperforming other titles and thumbnails. And so that's how I got YouTube to start recommending my videos to more people through browse traffic, right? And so if you give YouTube more videos that it already likes and is already showing to people, then you can bet that it's going to show your videos to more people as well. Now, speaking of what YouTube's algorithm really likes, as we all know, YouTube loves it when we gain subscribers who are actually engaged and interested in our content. And so you can go ahead and drop your channel topic down below. Who knows, maybe there are other viewers who are watching this video that will be interested in your channel topic, and so they may come and check out your channel or even subscribe. But guys, please only subscribe to the channels that you are genuinely interested in, because otherwise you could end up hurting that person's channel. So yeah, just go to the ones that you truly are interested in. The fourth lesson that I learned is that you need to treasure every view and engage with your viewers. So you need to keep in mind that even if your video is only getting a couple of views, those people took the time to watch your video, which is incredible. It means that you were able to either entertain someone, you were able to give them value, you made an impact on that person's life. And so I really want you to build connections with these people. If they comment on your video, comment back to them, engage with them, and show your appreciation for them watching your videos. The fifth lesson that I learned is to stop comparing myself to other creators. So trust me when I say that comparison will really kill your creativity and your confidence. Because yes, there are other creators on YouTube that are probably creating better content than you are, but that's okay. You don't have to compare yourself to them all the time, and you don't have to make perfect videos because you don't know if that person has a team behind them. You don't know how many videos it actually took for them to start seeing success. And a great mentor of mine actually always says that the only person that you should be comparing yourself to is your past self. So with every video you create, aim to make it just a bit better than your previous video. The sixth lesson that I learned is to batch and save time. So creating multiple videos in one sitting can really save a lot of time and a lot of mental energy. Because if you think about it, you are already in the zone, right? So when you're recording one video, you are already dressed, you already look really good, you are there to show up. And so why not create multiple videos in that one sitting? So for me personally, I like to create 2 to 3 YouTube videos on a Monday evening when everything is quiet, there's no distractions, people aren't walking their dogs. That's the time when I record my videos, and it works really well. And I also chose Monday for a reason, because that means that I get my videos recorded super early in the week, and so that's a huge weight off my shoulders. And that brings me to the 7th lesson, which is to block out time for creating videos. So I want you to start treating your YouTube channel like a job. You need to schedule time to create your videos, because from my experience, take this from me, if you are waiting for motivation to strike, you are never gonna stay consistent on YouTube. Instead, what I want you to do is set aside specific time where you can script your videos, where you can record your videos, where you can edit your videos, and so on. So it doesn't all have to happen at one time. You can, for example, choose one day throughout the week where you script your videos, choose another day where you record your videos, and then yet another day where you edit your videos. It's up to your schedule. And then also on top of that, try to give yourself a time limit. Because I don't know if you're familiar with this one principle, and it's called the Parkinson's law. And so this principle states that work expands to fill the time available for its completion. So what it essentially means is if you give yourself 1 hour to do something, you're going to get it done in 1 hour. But if you give yourself 1 month to do something, you're only going to get it done in 1 month. And so try to limit your time and you'll get it done faster. Lesson 8 that I learned is that your channel isn't about you, it's about them. So yes, your face is in the YouTube video, but ultimately your channel is for your viewers. That means you need to create videos that they are searching for, that they actually want to watch and will click on. If you keep posting videos that they are actually interested in, you're going to keep them coming back and back, and you'll get more views, you'll attract more people, and it's a snowball effect of growth. So every time before you create a video, think to yourself, how is this helping my viewer? Lesson 9 is to focus on views and not subscribers. So this is something that I personally saw on my own channel, and it is that I used to focus a lot on getting those subscribers, but then I started to shift my focus to just posting really valuable and good videos that could get a lot of views. And naturally, as my videos start to get more views, they start to get more subscribers as well. In fact, my best performing videos with tens of thousands of views brought in the most subscribers for me. And the thing is, I didn't even ask people to subscribe in those videos. It happened naturally. Now, speaking of videos that can get you thousands of views, if you want to get a shortcut to creating videos that can gain thousands of views for your channel, I have created a free viral YouTube video checklist that you can download in the description below. And so it outlines the 9 key elements that almost all viral videos have. Lesson 10 that I learned is to repeat successful formats. So if you see that your title or your thumbnail worked really well, then create similar titles and thumbnails for your other videos. If you saw that a specific video structure or script worked really well, then create a similar script for your other videos. You don't have to reinvent the wheel every time you create a new video. Instead, you can focus on what already worked, and so that makes your new videos more likely to work as well. The 11th lesson that I learned is to create bold and curiosity-driven titles. So the reality of things is that if your title is boring, you aren't going to get any clicks. You can think of your title as a hook. It needs to spark curiosity, interest, and get people to say, I need to learn more about what's inside this video. So one of my best performing videos on my channel is called "This New Video Style is Taking Over YouTube." Now, if you read that title, you are probably thinking, ooh, what new video style is she talking about? I need to learn more. And it sort of makes you feel like FOMO, right? You don't want to miss out on it. And so you're more likely to click that title. And I want you to think of similar ways that you can phrase your titles to get more people to actually click. But please don't make it clickbait. So if you are promising something in the title, then make sure that you deliver that in the video. Lesson 12 that I learned is to master the hook formula. So if you want to keep people watching your video, you need to make sure that the first 30 seconds of your video really packs a punch. And so what I like to do is I like to follow this formula. So first and foremost, say something striking or really interesting. Second, make sure that you boost your authority and show people that you know the answers that you are explaining in this video. And third, set them up and tell them what they can expect in the video. To give you a basic example, it could look something like, this video got 20,000 views and I edited it in 1 hour. Here's how. Obviously, you can make this a bit longer. This is a very short example, so you can make the setup, the authority, and the interesting fact like 2 lines each, but just make sure that it is under 30 seconds. The 13th lesson that I learned is to not respond to hate comments emotionally. If you get a hate comment, which is more likely going to happen than not, because that's just the reality of being a YouTuber, I want you to not respond to it immediately, but rather to just take a breath, step away from your laptop or phone, and just take a moment to calm down. Once you're calmed down, you can come back and you can decide to either completely ignore that comment, because you can do that, or if you really would like to respond, then I would recommend that you respond with a fact. So if the person said something negative about you, then go ahead and prove them wrong. Tell them why that is not true. But like I said, feel free to completely ignore these comments if you don't know how to respond or if they really are triggering. The 14th lesson that I learned is to use AI as an assistant and not to replace you. You can absolutely use tools like ChatGPT and other AI tools to help you with coming up with content ideas, brainstorming, doing research, helping you write a basic script. But please do not take everything and copy and paste it as is. Because if you do that, you're going to sound like all of the other creators who are doing the exact same thing. So many people these days are using AI and simply taking what AI gives them and, creating videos from that. Now, that's going to create really generic and boring videos. Instead, what you can do is take what ChatGPT or the AI tool gives you and go and add some of your own unique personal stories, your own, proven frameworks, your own opinion in that script or into that research. Because yes, your voice does matter. That's why people are watching your channel specifically. Lesson 15 that I learned is to be honest and don't exaggerate. Viewers can smell fake a mile away. Don't make false claims or false promises in order to get views. Instead, stick to the truth. Be transparent with your wins, with your struggles, and you can even be vulnerable and tell people the reality of things, right? So I have a couple of videos on my channel where I talk about how hard it is to grow on YouTube, because it's true, right? I'm not one of those people who are going to sugarcoat things and tell you everything is just dandy all the time, because it isn't. And as I spoke about AI just earlier, because so many people are using AI to create these generic videos, people honestly respect truth now more than ever, because there are so many fakers out there and you don't want to be one of them. The 16th lesson that I learned is to be confident, even if you are a little weird. And so yes, I am weird, I am a bit quirky, but that's okay because that's the real me. I'm not going to hide who I am. Instead, I know that the people who connect with me and who like my personality are going to be the ones who stick around, and I'm completely fine with that. And so to give you an example of this, something that I used to be very self-conscious of was my South African accent, because if you go and look on YouTube, you'll see a lot of, US people who are, YouTubers, and their accent to me is beautiful, right? Whereas mine is completely different and, a lot more unique than the norm on YouTube. And so I used to be very self-conscious about that. But then I realized that, yes, my accent is probably going to repel some people and they're not going to like it, but it's also going to attract a lot of other people who like the sound of it, right? And so I just started to embrace that part about myself. And as a result, I got a lot more confident in presenting on camera. And so I also want you to remember that your confidence is something that you're going to build over time. The more you create videos, the more confident you're going to become, and the easier it's going to get to record videos. This 17th lesson that I learned is to research outside of your niche. Now, great ideas don't always come from directly inside your niche or industry. Sometimes you need to go outside of it to find truly good and breakout videos. For example, on my channel, I talk all about YouTube growth and content creation, right? But the other day I was on YouTube and I saw that a video, or more specifically a YouTube short, was trending in the financial industry. And it's called How to Budget Money, the 50-30-20 Rule. I could then go ahead and create a video related to YouTube that could be called How to Grow on YouTube, the 50-30-20 Rule. So you see how I adjusted that and I made it unique to the YouTube industry specifically. And I want you to do exactly that. Go outside of your niche and look at videos that are trending there as well and see if you can adjust it to your industry. Lesson 18 that I learned is that YouTube Shorts can hurt your long form channel if you aren't careful. Let's face it, Shorts are really trendy and a lot of people like watching it because it's short and sweet and it's fun to watch. But the reality is that if you have a long form channel where you focus more on posting videos that are between 5 minutes to maybe even 25 minutes or more, then shorts can actually hurt your long form video views. Because as you start attracting more shorts based audience, so if you post a lot of shorts, you're going to attract people who primarily want to watch these short videos, then these people aren't necessarily going to be interested in watching your longer videos. I actually created a separate video where I talk more about this, and I'm going to link it in the description below if you're curious to watch it. The 19th lesson that I learned is to learn from your flops. Instead of feeling really sad and frustrated that one of your videos didn't perform as well as you thought it would, rather use that video as a lesson. Ask yourself, why do you think this video didn't perform well? Was it maybe the title? Was it maybe the thumbnail? Was it the actual content inside the video? Was it that your hook didn't grab people's attention and so they dropped off fast? What was it that made this video not work? You need to remember that these failure videos are a great way for you to learn about the algorithm, to learn about what your audience wants from you. And so instead of thinking of them as a failure, rather think of them as a way for you to make the next video better. Lesson 20 that I learned is to use trends to ride the wave. Jumping on trends can be a great way for you to get a lot of views fast, especially if you can take that trend and you can incorporate your own unique perspective into it. So for example, on my channel, the very first video that really took off for me was called The Reality of Being a New YouTuber. And so if you can remember, I don't know if you saw, but there were so many of those kinds of videos being posted at that time. And so that was a trending topic. Now, I jumped on that trending topic really fast and I created my own video about it. But just be careful to not only rely on trending videos, because I have seen that a lot of these trending videos can be very repetitive. And so I rather want you to, yes, focus on trending videos every now and again, but then also focus on other video idea perspectives. So show people what mistakes they're making in your industry, show them, misconceptions that they may have, give them tips, do different things that can bring value to them and keep them coming back to your channel over and over again. Lesson 21 that I learned is to be consistent and post on the same day. Consistency builds habits for your audience, and it also shows YouTube that you are serious about growing your channel. So I want you to go ahead and pick a day, pick a time that you want to post your videos and stick to it. For example, on my channel, I like to post my videos on Thursdays, and I usually do it either late in the afternoon or early in the evening. But there is a caveat to this. You need to check your analytics, right? So after you've posted a couple of videos, I'd say around 8 videos, you'll most likely start to see what time your audience is on YouTube. And so once you see that time, you can go ahead and start posting your videos during that time frame, because that means that most of your viewers are active during that time, and so you'll get more views on your videos. Lesson 22 is to keep learning, because the YouTube game changes fast. YouTube is always evolving, and so should you. My recommendation is that you consistently watch channels who teach about YouTube growth, because usually these channels are the first ones to jump on a trend and see what's working on YouTube at the moment. And so watching their videos will teach you when there are algorithm shifts, when things have changed, so that you can keep up and you can start implementing those strategies to keep growing. And so with that being said, I am constantly testing things on YouTube. I do teach a lot of YouTube tips and content strategies and things like that on my channel. And so if you like the way that I teach, then be sure to subscribe, because I'll be creating a lot more videos where this comes from. Plus, I'm growing alongside with you. So I'm going through the trenches as you are, and let's just grow together. Now, those are the top 22 lessons that I've learned throughout my YouTube journey. But you heard me talk about batch creation in this video. And so if you are curious about how you can create 2 to 3 YouTube videos per week in as little time as possible, I have actually created a video all about it, and you can watch it right over here to save you so much time. As always, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.